So dummy grid up and running for junior Rotax and just heading out onto the grid now, so we'll head over for that one. I meant senior Rotax.
You did mean senior Rotax.
I did mean senior Rotax. I was on the wrong page, as usual. So I'll take you through the grid for senior Rotax Heat 2. Going off pole position is Lucas Ellingham with a fantastic win in heat number 1. Stephen Napier in second, Tristan Rennie, then Scott Smith, Thomas Wood and Charlie Walsh. Declan Russell, Jack Lilly, James Wood and Les Taylor round out your top 10. Then it's Gary Bird, Dan Kell, Nathan Smith, Shane Collinson, Andy Collinson, Ryan Garvey, Reece Duthie and Steve Richardson. A bit of Sean Connery coming in there. Steve. Paul Swan and Tyler Jex round out your top 20. Then it's Dougie Cowan, Andrew Powell, Stephen Horner and Scott Lowther. Zach Bolton, Keith Mason, Tom Reeve, Adrian Smith and Ashley Savish and Emma Brown rounding out the top 30. Then it's Chris Miller, Alexander Mikos and John Knox. Got support coming in for Jack Bolton.
Zach Bolton.
Zach Bolton.
Zach Bolton from a fantastically named Jojo Bow 75ADH Rocks as a YouTube name.
I think.
So here we go for senior Rotax. Can we get this one going at the first time of asking? They are spread out at the back and it looks like we are going to go racing. The timer at the top appears and we are away in senior Rotax and it's Ellingham leading the way down as the rest of the field go to the inside. Ellingham comfortable enough in his track position that he could stay round the outside. Let's see if everybody else makes it round Christmas Corner for the first time before the run down the hill into Ashby's. Looks like there's a battle there for second place. The field, Tom, just still streaming through Inkermans as the leaders are round Ashby already on that run down to the double apex left of Wilkins and then back as they head down towards the boot.
Do we know what kind of experience our current reigning champion, Dan Keller's got around Wilton Mill?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I haven't.
Well, Dan, if you're watching this back in a few minutes' time, when you get off the track...
I know he's done NKC as well, so I know that they do varying tracks, so I'm sure he's been here before, and there was obviously practice on yesterday with 4 practice sessions that is Daniel Kell in the number 1. Running that from his, as we'd say, Teesside Championship, where despite the fact that we're at Wilton Mill, he runs the number 1, having run the O plate at the Teesside O for the last 2 years. He runs the 1, having picked the championship up last season. Looks like Napier has actually handed second place there to Scott Smith, who moved up into second. So it was a good move as well by Scott Smith into that left-hander. Couple of runs down into the boot as drivers trying to get alongside into that final corner. We do have a few of them side by side as we begin lap number 3 here at Wilton Mill. And even now they're on slicks, the time's tumbling into the 46s again for our senior Rotaxers. That's 5 seconds quicker than what they were doing earlier on the wet tyre. So definitely slick. I'm not sure. Don't know whether we're going to get through the day without another smattering of rain. We'll have a quick look as there's a late dive to the inside there by the 66 of Collinson.
Not running the academy livery this time, is he?
No, and the 36 as well. 37 actually making a dive to the inside. That was a very, very late move.
We're looking at the battle for 7th here, so that's Wood, Garvey and Smith. Oh, someone's gone very wide. Coming out of pit bend. Did they actually make it into the barriers or did they get through cleanly? It looks like everybody made it through, but
yeah. I think we were clean.
Looked like Tom. They went off into a different postcode.
Yeah, I think we were clean because I think the camera would have stayed there if we had an off. But yeah, certainly was very, very wide. We're almost halfway through senior road. Oh, we are wide there. Postcode. The 12 of James Wood is off. It looks like they might have stalled as well. It has a bit of the batteries down there on the left side for a restart, but James Wood, who was in 7th place as well, is now going to drop well outside, I think, the top 20. Let's see if he reappears down there. One of the 177 runners from Stephen Richardson up into 15th.
Well, that's a fantastic showing as well. Yeah, running that extra 15 kilos of weight.
Yeah, on a grid that is predominantly 162, the lower weight limit for our Rotaxers. entire battle, Tom, there has, I think, both Collinson's and Daniel Kell in it, the perennial front runners from Teesside. Ashley Savage, another one of those from Teesside, but he's had a difficult weekend, having not really set a reasonable time in qualifying. Yes, they only got one lap before the chain snapped, so there's a move down the inside by the 37 of Rhys Duthie, and then the customary helmet tap. Certainly feels like he's got the pace then to get on the back, as the 9 of Chrissy Miller has a quick tap in the rear. And this just a line astern of carts all the way through. Shane Collinson at the head of the pack, then moving up into in the 66, moves inside the top 10. And this, Tom, goes all the way down, I think, to about 20th. It's just nose to tail carts through from 10th, 11th, 12th, count them as you go, all the way back to Tristan Rennie, I think, who's well out of position, Tom, in 18th.
Yeah, started 2nd or 3rd, I think, on the grid. Of course, we saw him have problems earlier in the race.
Collinson is going to get hung out to, in fact, I say Collinson's going to get hung out to dry. It's two of them. It's Shane and Andrew, the 66 and the 74, all battling it out in that battle. One of them in the cosmic livery, one in just the plain white. Daniel Kell there in the one on the back of the 66 of Shane Collinson.
That's the, and they're changing position as they come through Christmas Corner again. It's going to be like a fruit machine, I think, the timing column on the left-hand side by the time they get round to the start-finish line.
Spin it and hope for 3 in a row.
That's the one. Although we're hoping nobody spins it here, quite literally. So that's the 9 and the 74 swapping positions again, twice in 2 corners. That's Andy Collinson and Chrissy Miller just swapping places around each and every corner, and they're still going at it as they come into the boot and are trying to get the overcut again. And that's the 66 of Shane Collinson. So we've got Andy Collinson and Shane Collinson trying to be sort of the Legion of Doom tag teaming.
Rhys Duthie's starting to move away, isn't he, as the battle behind. He's got through and he's managed to break away.
Although in these weather conditions, it could be a bit more like natural disaster as a tag team duo. People of a certain age will get that, kids. Ask your parents.
Like, yeah, early 90s.
Early 90s WWF wrestling. That's what we're talking.
Out at the front, Tom, Ellingham hasn't been able to pull away quite as much as we thought, given the pace that he carried in Heat 1. Although that was on wets, wasn't it, towards the end of that race? And the gap's still 2.1, so it's comfortable out at the front. This is the battle of the second, with Scott Smith at the head of it, and that's Collinson off, and that looks, Tom, like there's been some heavy contact, because he does not look comfortable in that machine. The number 74, Andy Collinson, looked quite uncomfortable there on the grass. The yellow is out, and that's the first left at Wilkins, and he's parked on the outside. The yellow is out, so there'll be no overtaking into there, but he's still in the cart as it is. 1 minute and 10 remaining.
The good news about being off there is there's no barriers that he'll have hit, with the exception of coming off at Ashby. But then you wouldn't really make it all the way around there if you've been off at Ashby. So potentially no barrier hit, and that's a good thing. It's what else has gone with it. See, there's still yellow flags out as well. So it is Ellingham, but Scott Smith looks to be closing back in now and bringing Napier with him. Declan Russell a further 5 seconds back. Then it's Les Taylor, Ryan Gari, Charlie Walsh, Nathan Smith, Gary Bird and Rhys Duthie now rounding out your top 10. Green flag now waving as they come past that scene, but there will be yellow flags, what looks like potentially until the end of the race at Wilkins.
Yeah, and the looks as well like Collinson was actually just sat on the floor there as well, Tom. So it looks like he has taken quite a whack as Collinson. We're going to get 2 laps though as Ellingham comes through with 17 seconds remaining. The gap's 2.4, so he's comfortable. Another driver just looks like they're sat off there on the outside of the crook corner.
I don't know whether Ellingham's had a mild off somewhere, because he was only a second and a bit in front of Scott Smith. Have we missed that somewhere?
No, I think he's just taking, just happy, isn't he, out the front? Just not having to push.
I mean, he was 0.7 of a second quicker than Scott Smith.
The worry is that if he can maintain that, is that he will be in the realms in a few moments' time of actually coming up to lap traffic, and you don't want to throw anything away. He's got a comfortable lead of 2.4. Smith now is going to have to defend back to Stephen Napier, who is closing in Last lap board is out. There was Ellingham, the Wilton Mill Kart Club champion in X30 in 2021. He's coming up to some lap traffic. We've got a few runners down the tail. That's another incident involving a Collinson and the number 62 of Thomas Wood. So that's a battle just outside the top 10. And Tristan Rennie's took full advantage. Tommy's up into 10th. He was 18th 3 laps ago.
Well, there you go. It's not over till it's over, is it, with Tristan Rennie? So he had an issue that dropped him right down in the early part of this race.
John Knox, Tom, another driver that failed to finish the opening heat of the day, up into 15th. So he's made up almost half the field from outside the top 30. Round the final corner, though, comes Lucas Ellingham. It's 2 wins from 2 races, and he'll start the final from pole position. Fantastic win for him, eking out a couple of tenths in every